Feels nice. I'm Ellen.
No. Oh, that's how you say, I'm Ellen.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrity reactions to impressions of them.
That wasn't bad, huh?
He can have the job.
For this list, we'll be looking at when the impersonated reacts to the impersonator, or at the very least, the impersonation. Were our picks pitch perfect or way off key? Sound off in the comments below. Number 10. Andy Samberg impersonates Nicolas Cage, Saturday Night Live. Nicolas Cage should be used to being impersonated on Saturday Night Live, as both Jimmy Fallon and Andy Samberg have taken a shot at the Con Air star.
I don't have time to argue with you, Seth! If I don't finish my segment, people will die!
The latter's impression would be part of Weekend Update, with his impression fronting the Get in the Cage segment. In Samberg's opinion, his impression wasn't meant to be particularly accurate, nor flattering, but upon seeing it for himself, Cage loved it. The actor even cameoed as part of the segment, surprising the impressionist.
My dream as an actor is to appear in every film ever released. However, until now, I've only been able to muster a measly 90%, bringing shame upon my dojo.
In fact, Samberg was thrilled to see how much the star was involved, even skipping back to his dressing room post-rehearsal. As for Nick Cage, he managed to give a performance that was more akin to the parody version than the real thing.
I just don't know what you mean by that, Nick.
Yeah, nevertheless, the time has come for us to ride on to our next adventure.
Number 9. Kathy Lee Gifford and Hoda Kotb on Kristen Wiig and Jenny Slate. Today. We should just say that it's only Kathy Lee Gifford's impression by Kristen Wiig that is worth mentioning here.
Way ahead of you, Hody. Oh. Did I do that? Oh, that was her. Her family matters. Family does matter.
Like her real-life counterpart, poor Hoda Kotb is relegated to saying a few words, and she didn't have much to say about Jenny Slate's impression of her either. But Gifford's reaction to Wiig's impersonation, in which she sings her signature song, Everyone Has a Story, whilst being pummeled by the Black Eyed Peas, is, well, uncertain.
I don't know. What do you think?
She can sing, Chris.
No,
She
sorry.
can sing. She can sing.
Oh, it's okay to beat the crud out of me. That's fine, but when I say I'm sorry, the woman can't sing, that's a problem with you people.
At first, Gifford seems unimpressed and then suggests that Wiig should get a different job. But it's hard to tell if she's being serious or not.
Kathy Lee needs to stop singing. The animals are freaking out and so are the Black Eyed Peas.
Either way, they could very easily have distanced themselves from the SNL sketch by, we don't know, ignoring it, but the Today hosts dedicated an entire segment to it. Number 8. Jay Pharoah impersonates Denzel Washington, Jimmy Kimmel Live. For impressionists, there are few that can reach Jay Pharoah's level of talent. Before making it big, the young actor and comedian would demonstrate his talents via YouTube videos, attracting the attention of SNL producers.
That's the whole question at hand, right? So that's what we talking about, right? That's what we talking about.
But it was his self-shot video of him as Denzel Washington arguing with himself as Will Smith that ultimately helped Pharoah get a spot on the map. The pitch-perfect impressions put Pharoah in the sights of Denzel Washington, who loved his impersonations so much that he'd rave about them in interviews.
Seen him before that. He's got a thing on YouTube where he does me talking to, like me and Will Smith. Okay. He's very good at both. Okay.
It was also this same video that got Pharoah his first dramatic role, as Matt Damon showed director Steven Soderbergh, who then cast him in 2018's Unsane.
He was like, yo, I want to work with this kid somehow, and there we go.
Wow, and then he actually thought about you for this particular part.
Number 7. Laura Ingraham on Kate McKinnon, The Ingraham Angle. Does anyone else get the distinctive feeling of sour grapes with Laura Ingraham over Kate McKinnon's on-target impression of the conservative Fox host on Saturday Night Live?
And as soon as I marry your dad, I'm sending you straight to boarding school.
After all, Ingraham dedicated an entire segment of her show, The Ingraham Angle, days after the initial sketch, and responded by performing an impression of the impression.
The reason I like Kate McKinnon, I have so much respect for her as a talent. She's so even-handed in her political commentary.
Now, this would be a treat had Ingram sounded anything like McKinnon sounding like Ingram, otherwise known as Ingramshin. But the original Ingram just seems to dial it all the way up and comes across a little too cringy for it not to betray any feelings of frustration over the parody.
I mean, I think this is kind of comedy gold, don't you?
But no, it's surely not sour grapes. Is it? Is it? Number 6. Kate McKinnon impersonates Ellen DeGeneres, The Ellen DeGeneres Show. 2 in a row for Kate McKinnon here, but this entry describes a much more favorable response.
Hey, welcome to Ellen. I'm Ellen. Thanks for being here. Oh, it's so good to see all your 42-year-old faces.
The subject of McKinnon's impersonation might have fallen somewhat out of favor with her audiences, but there was a time when Ellen DeGeneres was very much able to hold down her daytime talk show without help, and be very entertaining whilst doing so. However, after witnessing the incredible talents of Kate McKinnon playing an exact replica of her on SNL, DeGeneres reacted by inviting the comedian onto the show.
Say your friends call you up and they're like, "Did you see Kate on SNL? She sounded exactly like you." And you're like, but she does exaggerate. She always says, "I'm Ellen. I'm Ellen. I don't know what that is. I'm Ellen."
Furthermore, so thrilled was DeGeneres by the sketches and McKinnon's talent that the host asked the impressionist to perform the Ellen opening monologue in her place, which she did, as Ellen DeGeneres, exactly like Ellen DeGeneres would.
Portia and I got a puppy, and we named it Kid to make it sound like we have a kid. Funnily enough, a kid is also a baby goat, and I love baby goats. I love them. I love baby goats.
Number 5. Steve Harvey on Kenan Thompson. Steve Harvey. It was clear from how Kenan Thompson sheepishly made his entrance onto Steve Harvey's self-titled talk show set that he figured he was in hot water with the veteran host.
We talking about overcoming faux bias. Now, everybody got some kind of a faux bias, and we get... Excuse me? What is it? Oh, phobias.
Having provided Saturday Night Live with a perfect rendition of Harvey's not-so-finest moments, which Harvey was none too reluctant to remind his audience of, the target of the parody threatened Thompson with violence in response.
I ought to knock your ass out. Faux bias. That's damn sure what I would say, though, because...
Everybody got a faux bias, man.
All in good fun, however, as Harvey found Kenan's lampooning to be as hilarious as viewers feel too. In fact, according to Thompson, Harvey was very forgiving, owing to how far back the two men go. Steve Harvey used to have Kenan and Kel on his show, and how close they are.
I call Kenan all the time. I say, "Hey, man, send me half your check, because I'm the half the reason you here."
So the impressions are all done out of love. Number 4, Tom Cruise on South Park. South Park. Now, you really have to be thick-skinned if the South Park people target you for impersonation.
Don't you understand, Elron? It's me, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I know who you are.
It's very rarely going to be a positive for the lampooned. Just ask Tom Cruise. The show depicted Cruise as a zealous crybaby who wouldn't leave a closet. Make of that what you will.
Mr. Cruz, come out of the closet. No. Come on, Mr. Cruz, this is ridiculous.
I'm never coming out.
What did you say to him?
I just told him I thought Napoleon Dynamite guy's a better actor than he is.
Oh, boy.
In response, the actor reportedly threatened to boycott his part in promoting Viacom's fellow project, Mission Impossible 3.
Listen, talk to me. We can talk. Like gentlemen. Breathe.
Despite these reports, the episode is still in circulation, and Cruise is still making Mission Impossible movies. So we guess they decided to let bygones be bygones. For now. Number 3, Dr. Anthony Fauci on Brad Pitt, Saturday Night Live. Few entries on this list can claim that they were nominated for awards thanks to their impressions. But in the case of Brad Pitt, he would be speaking truth.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Anthony Fauci. First, I'd like to thank all the older women in America who have sent me supportive, inspiring, and sometimes graphic emails.
At the height of the pandemic, when the world was shut down and TV shows were being shot at home, people needed just a little respite.
A miracle would be great. Who doesn't love miracles? But miracles shouldn't be plan A. Even Sully tried to land at the airport first.
Arguably, few people needed a laugh more than Dr. Anthony Fauci, who turned on Saturday Night Live one weekend and saw himself being played by one of his favorite actors. The doctor was elated to see the sketch and to learn of Pitt's subsequent Emmy nod, but has promised he doesn't get distracted by it.
One thing for sure, it doesn't go to my head because I don't pay much attention to it, because I'm too busy paying attention on what I really need to do on a day-by-day basis.
Number 2, Harrison Ford on Mark Hamill, The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. It's one thing to be impersonated by a professional you're not likely to meet, but we assume it's a different thing altogether to be impersonated by a friend.
Well, wait a second, this is right after we got out of the trash compactor. Shouldn't my hair be all wet and matted with schmutz all through it? And he turns to me and says, "Hey, kid, it ain't that kind of movie."
As Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford go way back to a long time ago, it's safe to say that they may have picked up a trait or two from the other.
Does Harrison like your impression of him? No, actually, he once said to me, "Hey, I don't sound anything like that."
With Hamill, it's Ford's low, almost distant cadence, which he's all too happy to employ when recounting stories from behind the scenes of their Star Wars days. With Ford, it's Hamill's enjoyment of the whole thing, even going so far as to tell Jimmy Fallon that he can have the job.
No, it's really good.
Yeah, it's not bad, right?
I guess that's me.
What job? We're not sure, but let's pretend it's taking Harrison Ford's phone calls.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You'll have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Dana Carvey as George H.W. Bush, Saturday Night Live. It should go without saying that political figures are always going to be the target of impressions and parody, especially on Saturday Night Live. The Dana Carvey era, which went from the late 80s to the early 90s, and parallel to the presidency of one George H.W. Bush, is no exception.
You know, it's been a while since I talked to you. Let me tell you, it's been a good summer up there in the Bush family compound.
On many occasions, SNL's cold open would be Carvey, as Bush, delivering a presidential address, whilst perfectly reflecting the then POTUS's little idiosyncrasies and deliberate cadence.
The Democrats are gonna urge a big tax increase, 8, 10, 12%. Not got that. I'm talking 3, 4% tops, no more than 5.
But rather than get mad, Bush Sr. found it hilarious and even invited the comedian to the White House to entertain his staff post-election defeat. In fact, it started a quarter-century-long friendship between the pair, with Carvey often performing with Bush's blessing.
He said, "I hope I've never crossed the line," and I knew exactly what he meant, and as far as I'm concerned, he never has. And the fact that we can laugh at each other is a very fundamental thing.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.